Welcome to the Mind and Body Shop. I'm Alfredo Zapata. In this episode, we're going to talk about health in 2021. I hope you have a great week, middle of the week actually, and ready to have an incredible rest of the week. And, this time is very, very much important to all of us, but especially to me because I've been, working with people for the past 30 years, helping them to live healthy from the inside out. And health in this 2020 is something that I've been bombarded with so many questions, and everything that goes on television, on everything in the bus, in the metro, everywhere is about when are we going to be normal? When are we going to be healthy for the ones that are not healthy? But what is health? In your own words, what is the definition of health in this 2020? I want you to answer that question to yourselves. What is the definition of health in this 2021? Many people, as a automatic response, will say, I don't have the virus, so I'm fine. I'm pretty good. I'm healthy. I'm okay. I don't have any pain. Or the ones that have some pains, they say, well, I have some aches on my knees because I'm getting old, and the doctor says that that's going to happen anyway. So people pretend to be healthy. That's the bottom line. And in any case, even people who are not older or younger, just for social and pure pressure, they say, I'm fine, I'm okay. In different languages, it doesn't matter. Estoy bien. Anywhere you want to see it, majority of people in the world, they will say, I'm okay. If you have a headache, some people they will say, I'm okay, but I have a headache. Or I'm hypertense, but I'm under control. Or I'm diabetic. So you automatically put a label on your forehead, and that's how you live, with a label saying, I'm okay, or I'm sick, but I'm grateful. And, all those things are automatic, and that's good to have a good intentions to say, well, I'm grateful that I'm alive and everything else. But think about if you're really healthy from the inside out. And I'm talking about inside out because I'm going to share that in a minute with you. But that question, it really is so important, not just now, but in general. As long as you live, as long as you're someone who have a mind to comprehend, then the body needs to be taken care of, eating, sleeping, doing various activities. But, that automatic response, it really gets me not uncomfortable, but get me to question, even start saying, I want to do some exercise because as a young child, I start trying to do things on my own, like walking, running, and things like that. Obviously, I was already, able to walk and stuff like that. But I'm saying the physical activity was part of me to make me feel good. But in this point that we're talking right now, health is something that I didn't really see as important in my life. Out of the books, from school, they saying, well, the body has these different parts and it works this way, and that's it. But other than that, as long as I close that book and go to my normal activities, I didn't think too much about it. And now it looks like people are doing the same. Or if they do something, they do it only to conform with some of the norms. Then they say, well, health is this way. So let me share with you what happens of this definition issued from the World Health Organization in 1948. Not a current one. I wanted to mention that. It says definition of health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. So, right there, think about if that definition is accurate to this time. Well, if you're talking about disease, you know, cancer is a terminal illness that, you know, in some cases can be cured. It can be detected promptly and taken care of. But so if you have that thing going on in your body, you're not healthy right there. So mental and social well-being, how do you define that? If already when someone asks you how you doing, you're saying I'm fine. Are you really aware of your body, of your health? If your mental is okay, if you're not angry all the time, if you're not depressed all the time, if you're not anxious all the time, if you don't have a intestinal problems when you get upset, if you don't have a colitis or irritable bowel syndrome or any of those illnesses that come when you have different emotional states, majority of people will say, well, I'm okay, I'm not crazy, I'm okay, I'm not like someone else. So we kind of push away the responsibility and we don't take responsibility for our own health. Just imagine in this 2021, how will you describe health? You know, I mean, what the definition of health? Would you say someone who doesn't have the virus, who doesn't have any aches and pains, or is under control of different situations like stress, high blood pressure, or overweight? Possibly, but it's something debatable. But I'm more inclined of looking at the origin of whatever problem you may have, or if you feel like you don't have any, that's why you have the lab test. That's why you have the expert. They can do a body composition, a body exam to see if all your levels are okay. That checkup is something that people just take it as a checkup list, but they're not taking it serious. Why? Because the um, the the medical and the pharmaceutical um, entities have been managing in some way to look at medicine and medical care as something like the ultimate answer for a problem. And if they don't have it, or if they have a solution, you have to follow it. And I kind of differ from this opinion because I'm not a doctor. I'm not a pharmaceutical expert. I'm not a pharmacist. But what I know based on my expertise for over 30 years in health and fitness and mind and body programs, I see that once we look at how our health is being um, developing over the years is by checking and looking possible disbalance in our health. Could be stress for the posture that we have when we're sitting. Could be a stress because we're so anxious and we drink so much coffee that we don't eat well, so we're always on the edge of exploding and getting all angry and emotional about situations. That could be one of the problems. It could be because of an injury of a certain position, you know, a truck driver, a cab driver, someone who's at the desk sitting in a chair for several hours, answering phones, typing, having a bad um, eating habits because their schedule doesn't allow. But my question is, are you planning in how you're going to be positioning your different activities? Because it's possible. I know there is a lot of stress, and people say, well, you know, the stress is always there. And yeah, I agree with that. But how do you manage that? how to use your mind and not to let the emotions control how you live. That's one of my definitions of health. If your mind is well set and you're able to control those emotions, you're going to be looking into your body and find out what can be improved if you're saying that you're okay. If you have some situation that need to be fixed, then to look for the origin. That's why the mind and body shop is a place where you're gonna find the different tips, the different solutions, so you can have a non-conventional ways to take care of your body and your lifestyle to become really a top of the line in everything that you do. Because some people, I put the example, I'm going to share it with you in a minute, but I put the example of possessions that people treasure so much, but know your health, know their health. They treasure so much their expensive car, their cell phone, their PlayStation or whatever game console they have, or clothes or shoes or anything that is external to their body. They treasure it so much. I'm gonna share this example because I think the body is an incredible like a high performance expensive car, and I will put the example of a Ferrari. Think about, imagine you have a brand new Ferrari with everything top of the line, and you have the keys and the tank is full and everything. Just imagine what would it be what the Ferrari needs in terms of maintenance. Yeah, it's full loaded with everything, it has gas in it, you have the key on it, you get in, turn it on, and then you start driving. How long can you drive that Ferrari without running out of gas? Well, probably miles, and then you'll be happy and enjoying the view and feeling great because you have a brand new sports car, a full tank of gas, and sooner or later along the way the gasoline is gonna run out. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna stop in a gas station, and what type of gasoline do you think the Ferrari needs? You're gonna put the regular? Are you gonna put the Supreme or the Premium or whatever is the top gas? So probably you're gonna go for the top one, right? You have a top of the line sports car, so you need good fuel for that car. So let's say you fill up the tank again and you start driving. What happens if you run into a bump and there is a nail or something that breaks one of the tires? And then you have on your dashboard, your control panel, some type of light saying toot toot toot, there is a failure in one of the tires of your vehicle, top line vehicle, sports car, full loaded with a tank of gas, but one of the tires it has a puncture. What are you gonna do? You have to try to find as soon as possible another gas station or maybe a shop, then they can fix that tire, because you cannot be running with that tire flat. Even if there is a top of the line car, even though you have a full tank of gas, you need that tire to take care of it. Otherwise, you won't be able to drive it. It's going to be messing up the front end or whatever is the one that holds the tires. So you need maintenance. And what kind of maintenance? In the meantime, you're going to just fix it anywhere you can so you can continue on. So I'm talking just to do this example and look at your body. So how are you gonna take care of your body if you have some type of situation going on. You know, you have like a little sprain your ankle because you put new shoes and you say, this is a new resolution 2021 has to be a new way of life, so I'm gonna become healthier, and I put my nice brand new tennis shoes and I'm gonna go for a run, or I'm gonna go walking because I haven't done much exercise and I have few pounds on me, so I don't wanna get any exhaustion or feeling fainting along the way. So you start walking, and then you don't think. And then because you have a flat feet or because you have some type of stiffness on your muscle because you haven't moved them for a while, you haven't stretched them. And what happens? You step in a little branch on the ground and then you twist your ankle. So what's going to happen with your ankle? Oh, my ankle. You're going to feel hurt, and then you're going to feel, oh, what am I going to do? I need to kind of hop and go for a bandage. I mean, a bandage, a something to fix it. Maybe it's not too bad. Maybe you can limp and go back to your home and try to put some ice and try to take some pain medicine and find a way to take care of that. But it's just one part of your body. But your whole mind is going crazy because you're saying, oh, well, thank God today is a weekend and I don't have to work, but I'm hurting. And I'm not going to the party they invited me, those good friends that I have. So I have to send some messages and I have, someone bring me some food because I cannot cook or I cannot go to the supermarket. Anyway, so that example is just to show that one body part of your body is in pain and you are like all over the place and everything is being on hold. Why? Because you have that problem. But if you didn't have that problem, if everything went fine, just kind of rewind that movie and then back again on your brand new running shoes, and you're walking, doing a little strolling, and then you go back home, and then you eat, and then you don't think about nothing else. You just went for a walk just to do a checklist on your organizer and saying, oh, I did that. I got my brand new shoes. This is my resolution, and I feel good about myself because I did it. Kind of like, when some of the kids do good at school and then they pat on the back and they say, good job. Yeah, that's how people are looking at health. And especially now in 2021, some people are still thinking that way. Or you go to the stream and then you go and saying, oh, well, this is a new thing. I cannot go out. So I'm going to be doing YouTube videos and I'm going to be doing some calisthenics. I'm going to be doing some exercise. I order online my yoga mat. I put some dumbbells or some resistant bands, and I'm going to be following a program because they said you cannot go out. So I'm going to be doing it in here and I'm committed to do it. So you start doing it. But because your body hasn't been with a good maintenance, like the Ferrari, so what's going to happen? Some people they say, oh no, I'm doing pretty good. And yeah, that's great. And yeah, a lot of people can do very good. But are you looking at if your body is able to, or if that particular exercise or movements are gonna help you to improve your energy, your life? You're gonna be burning some calories. You're gonna lose some weight, probably, but it's not a guarantee. Why? Because you haven't find out if that Ferrari needs something else, which is the checkup, which is the diagnose, is what these expensive cars also need when they go into the shop for service. Like every 6 months or whatever miles you run, you need to take them to the shop so they can put this machine and do a diagnose to see if something is going on. So exactly the same is how we need to look at our bodies, because that particular checkup is going to help us to really address whatever is happening now, not what happened yesterday, although it could be a good referral to what's happening now. But we need to do a checkup to make sure that we're okay. And that's why the Mind and Body Shop is the place to be, because that's where we start talking about different non conventional solutions and really looking at the origin of what could be out of place in our health, in our body, in our mind, how we thinking is going to be very much the reflection of how our bodies are functioning. Why? Because the mind controls the body. Even though in some particular places they talk about if you have a good intentions, things are gonna be working. And yeah, the mind is powerful. Yeah, but the mind also is for you to have a common sense, to really be objective and saying, okay, I'm gonna be doing something because I have the proof. I have the X-ray, so to speak, of what's going on with my body, and that is the wisest decision that you can take in this 2020. Find out how you are. You see it now with this testing to see if you have the virus or not. That's how you need to take care of your health. Doing a little testing to see that if you're not flexible enough and you're trying to do whatever is going on the video, what's going to happen? It's just probably just going to make you spend some time, maybe sweat a little bit, maybe make you feel good temporarily, and that's it. But you're not really looking at the origin of what's happening. Some people say, okay, yeah, I'm going to be in this challenge because everybody's doing it. So I'm going to do it because I want to be motivated and do it myself. Okay, that's great. That's a great intention to do things. But what's going to happen after those 21 days, after this 90 days? You did it because everybody was doing it, because of social proof to fit in. But is your lifestyle reflected in what you do every day, regardless of a challenge, regardless if it's 2021, regardless if anything, are you doing it to live healthy from the inside out, or you're doing it just to be doing your checklist? That's something that I want you to think. And that's why in this episode, talking about health is, it could be so complex. It could be like taking it to a scientific level that I don't want to get into, because that's when sometimes we get diluted with the information. So simple. Obviously, yeah, if there is something that you need to take care of and you need a specialist, and there is something that really needs a particular test, yeah, of course, by no means just taking what I'm saying like it is the law of being healthy. No, I'm talking about doing that simple but a specific way of looking at yourself. Look at yourself in the mirror. What do you see in that mirror? Honestly, you see a healthy person from the inside out? Not just trying to please you or trying to look good like in some videos or some commercials. Yeah, the good intentions are good, but honestly, objectively, you seeing a healthy person, a happy person, mentally and physically? Are you able to manage your emotions without getting out of proportion? Or you start blaming the people that you're supposed to say they make me angry, they make me feel this way? Are you responsible for your emotions, and how do you take care of your body? That's the example that you can do simply without going to the doctor, to the lab for a test. Just look at your mirror in this time, in this 2020, and see it. If you're in good shape, if you look good, that's good. But is the inside of your body, mentally and physiologically well, chances are they might be, but chances are they might need to improve something. Maybe you're in great shape, but you have a colitis because you're pretty anxious. You're not patient, and that anxious and patient is changing your pH on your digestive system. You're not absorbing the nutrients, even though you're eating organic, even though you're exercising and taking all these supplements. You're not a patient person. So, what do you need to do? Look at the origin of this problem. Maybe it's in your mind. You're perceiving that people need to be at the same pace than you are, and you're not looking at yourself, how you come up across. Or maybe you're someone who's always thinking they have a very difficult situation because of your ancestors, because of your parents. Right there, that's another situation they will be covering in the next chapters. But first, we need to put together two very important parts, like I mentioned in the beginning of the show. If your mind and body are connected, then you can start looking in better ways to find a solution and not just go with whatever is your emotion taking you, because right there is going to be a dead end and you end up even with more problems. So in this mind and body shop, I'm going to give you some solutions that you can put in practice right now and really feel the difference. So I want you to stay tuned for the next week because we're going to be talking about some of the incredible and simple ways that you can start building a great, healthy mind and body. So thank you for stay tuned here. Stay tuned and thank you for watching and for listening. And we'll be here next week. And don't forget to connect mind and body. Alfredo Zapata here with the Mind and Body Shop. We see you next week.